Liverpool's nightmare season, 6 epic blunders that could send Arne Slot packing before Christmas. Imagine this, the mighty Premier League champions, once soaring high, have now crashed to earth, losing 6 out of their last 7 matches. It's a shocking downfall that has fans everywhere scratching their heads and questioning everything. But here's where it gets controversial. Does Arne Slot really deserve the boot so soon after his triumphant title win? Stick around, we're diving deep into 6 major screw-ups that might just push Liverpool's bosses to the brink by the holiday season. Sure, Slot's got some serious credit in the bank from last year's glory, but we're arguing it's time to cash it in before things get worse. On Wednesday night, he even dragged the young players into the chaos during a match that could become a footnote in his managerial rap sheet. Check out this take. https://www.football365.com/news/opinion-arn-slot-liverpool-kids-part-misery-sacking-footnote. And with the Liverpool brass showing no signs of firing him anytime soon, as detailed here, https://www.football365.com/news/liverpool-slot-decision-squad-complaint-palace-defeat. We've compiled 6 fiascos, ranging from poor results and questionable calls to key incidents and team gripes, to make a compelling case for his exit before December 25th. The Milos Kerkez debacle, a mystery of minutes. First up, let's talk about Milos Kerkez, the £40 million summer acquisition who's become a prime example of a puzzling relationship between performance and playing time. You might think that a player shining on the pitch would get more opportunities, right? Well, Kerkez has started in a whopping 14 games this season, with his only break coming, ironically, during that 5-1 thrashing of Eintracht Frankfurt. Yet, despite this heavy rotation, he's often been singled out as one of the weakest links in an otherwise struggling Liverpool squad. For more on the team's troubles, see https://www.football365.com/news/feature-10-liverpool-players-slump-this-season-sulla-van-dijk. He was even one of just 2 starters, alongside Alexis Mac Allister, to face the inevitable loss to Crystal Palace on Wednesday, even though he seemed like the obvious candidate to be benched as argued in this piece. https://www.football365.com/news/arn-slot-sets-liverpool-and-milos-kerkez-up-for-against Crystal Palace. Opponents have been targeting him relentlessly with shots lately, making you wonder if his continued inclusion is some sort of tough love, or just a cruel twist of fate. For Kerkez, a 21-year-old fullback, it must feel like a harsh lesson rather than a vote of confidence. Liverpool supporters can only hope this was his final warning to step up, though he didn't seize it, and not a signal that Slot sees him as indispensable. Compare him to Andy Robertson, who, even past his prime, at least understands his role on the field. Kerkez often looks lost, as if he's still trying to find his bearings in the English game. And this is the part most people miss. Is Slot stubborn, or is there a deeper strategy at play? What do you think? Should Kerkez be given more time, or is it time to cut losses? Squad depth drama, excuses or reality? Moving on to Slot's comments about the team's squad size after the Crystal Palace defeat, read the full quote here. https://www.football365.com/news/liverpool-slot-decision-squad-complaint-palace-defeat. He claimed, "Our squad is probably not as big as people think it is. There has not been a change in the way we look at this." He went further, pointing out how Manchester City fielded what felt like their A-team against Liverpool, while Chelsea brought in fresh talent like Estevao. Slot added, "After I made 2 substitutions tonight, we had 6 teenagers." Fair point, but let's unpack this. While it's true that Liverpool don't boast the same depth as City, Chelsea, or Arsenal, Slot opted to rest key players like Mohamed Salah and Virgil van Dijk, leaving him with no real options to turn the Carabao Cup tie around. In contrast, managers like Enzo Maresca and Pep Guardiola rotated in stars for the win. Why not at least test the bench with some of those pricey summer signings? And this sparks controversy. Slot keeps complaining about squad issues, but fans and execs remember shelling out over £400 million for talent. If he keeps using shallow depth as an alibi, it might just erode the patience of those at Anfield. For beginners in football, think of it like building a team for a long season. You need depth to handle injuries and fatigue. But is Slot just deflecting blame, or is the squad genuinely lacking? Check out this related roundup. https://www.football365.com/news/carabao-cup-round-up-draw-chelsea-summer-signing-arrives-arsenal-star-history. And don't forget this mailbox insight. https://www.football365.com/news/slot-going-mad-liverpool-could-be-next-3-games-mailbox. What if Slot's excuses are masking bigger problems? Share your thoughts in the comments. Is he right, or is this just another cop-out? The West Ham humiliation, a match to forget. Now onto a potential tipping point. Whispers suggest Slot might be ousted after the next 3 fixtures: home against Aston Villa, home to Real Madrid, and away to Manchester City, as hinted here. https://www.football365.com/news/slot-going-mad-liverpool-could-be-next-3-games-mailbox. Losing all 3 isn't far-fetched given their current slump. It could flood the news with next Liverpool boss speculation and juicy insider leaks. But thanks to that Premier League win last year, owners might still back him. To really shake their faith, we need something catastrophically bad, like a loss to West Ham at their ground. Picture the disaster: Liverpool crumbling to a Jarrod Bowen strike amidst the gloom of the London Stadium, where West Ham have yet to score a win or many goals this season. See the table. https://www.football365.com/premier-league/table. It's the kind of embarrassment Anfield's decision-makers couldn't overlook, a total cluster in front of miserable fans. For context, beating a struggling team like West Ham is table stakes for title contenders. Failing there would scream crisis. And this is where it gets intriguing. Is Slot's luck running out, or will his past success buy him more time? Read more on the sack race. https://www.football365.com/news/premier-league-sack-race-arteta-amram-nuno. Could this be the nail in the coffin, or are there still hidden strengths? Sound off below. What result would convince you Slot needs to go? Injury woes at the back, Gomez's flop and big questions. Then there's the centre-back crisis, highlighted by Joe Gomez's outing against Crystal Palace. Slot has given him just over 1,000 minutes, and boy, did he make the most of it, or rather, the least. Gomez was at fault for Ismaila Sarr's opening goal, fumbling a clearance, and looked far from his best, which peaked 5 years ago. This was the 3rd loss to Mark Guéhi in under 3 months, a painful reminder of their failed deadline day bid for him. With Giovanni Leone sidelined, Gomez is Slot's go-to to sub in for Virgil van Dijk or Ibrahima Konate. But shoving midfielder Wataru Endo back there, that spells trouble, especially against teams playing aerial balls. For newcomers, centre-backs are the wall defending the goal, strong in the air and quick on the ground. Gomez's struggles raise alarms. Is Slot over-relying on him out of necessity, or is this a sign of deeper tactical flaws? Here's the controversial take. Maybe Slot should have integrated backups better. What do you reckon? Does Gomez deserve another shot, or is it time for fresh faces? The Mohamed Salah saga, Rift or reality check? Shifting to midfield magic, Mohamed Salah's tunnel tantrum, after being benched against Eintracht Frankfurt sent shockwaves. Covered here. https://www.football365.com/news/Salah-storm-down-tunnel-in-a-petty-social-media-action. It screamed, "Play me, or I'll make waves." More on that. https://www.football365.com/news/opinion-sulla-throws-down-gauntlet-slot-petty-reaction-liverpool-snub His stunning goal against Brentford eased tensions, proving his